Right now at 5:30, an explosion destroyed a family's home in Harrison County. We'll have more on the investigation into this coming up in a live report.
Also on WKYT this morning, a man is recovering at UK hospital after being shot in a Lexington park overnight.
And after a bitterly close race, the Republican nominee for Kentucky's next governor has still not officially been decided.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It looks like it will be a while before we officially know what has happened with the Republican nomination for governor. A very close situation right now between Matt Bevin and James Comer.
And it looks like Bevin's ahead by 80-something points.
Yeah, 83
so,
votes.
you know, that's pretty small margin of error. In terms of our weather today, we're expecting it to be pretty nice, a little bit on the cooler side. Let's check in now with Micah.
Yeah, it'll be much cooler. We're sitting at 68 degrees today, tomorrow, off toward the low to mid 70s on Friday. I mean, we're talking about some really nice weather on the way. We're at 50 degrees right now at the Frankfort Cam. As you can see it out and about, 49 now in Lexington, and now you look down 64 all the way to Moorhead at MSU, just south of that, Frenchburg and also West Liberty. We're sitting in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. It's a chilly start to the day. By the afternoon, we're at 68 degrees. The rain chance comes during the evening for some. It's mainly for the western zones, but most of it, the bulk of it, actually comes overnight and into tomorrow morning. So during the daylight hours, I just don't see any rain in the forecast. It's all about mixture of sun and clouds at 68 degrees. Now, how long do we hold on to these temperatures? I'll show you that, and also your Memorial Day weekend forecast, kind of half and half. I'll explain that coming up.
Okay, look forward to those details shortly. Thank you.
Well, it is a race that is still too close to call this morning. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to find out who will be the Republican nominee for governor of Kentucky.
After the votes were counted, Louisville businessman Matt Bevin beat out Agriculture Commissioner James Comer by just 83 votes. And now Comer is calling for a recanvass of those votes. Despite his rebuttal, he does say that even if he does not win, he will support Bevin in the fall. There's still a number of unknown number of military provisional ballots that have yet to be counted. Both candidates remain hopeful throughout the night as those votes kept pouring in.
We are indeed Kentucky, and we have much work to accomplish, but with your help, we're going to make it happen. If you love Kentucky, we ask you to come on board because we are Kentucky. Fighting all the way until...
So, what is the next step in deciding the Republican nomination for governor? WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with a detailed look now at how this recanvassing process works. And Mark, the other question, how long is this process going to take?
Good morning, Bill. Comer has 6 days to ask for the recanvass. The recanvassing would then happen on May 28th, so it could be another week before we know which candidate is moving on to the November general election. Last night, Comer says he owes it to his supporters to request the recanvass. That's when county clerks check to see if the results from voting machines match the totals that were sent to the State Board of Elections. Comer says if he gets more votes through the recanvass, he may ask for a recount. In order for that to happen, a Franklin Circuit judge would have to order a re-examination of the ballots. There are not automatic recounts or runoff elections in Kentucky, but the state does allow recanvassing if a county clerk or county board of elections finds a problem or if a candidate makes a written request to the Secretary of State. Allison Lundergan-Grimes says the results of the recanvass will depend on the scope of the request.
It depends on the nature of the recanvass that's requested, whether it's a precinct, a county, or statewide, in terms of the results and the timing it would take to get those back.
If Comer requests a recanvass on May 28th, he would then have until the next day to ask a judge to order a recount. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, compared to the Republican race, the campaign for the Democratic ticket was rather calm. Attorney General Jack Conway won the race easily over his competitor, Jeff Young. He garnered just under 80% of the Democratic votes. This is the first time in 40 years that Kentucky Democrats didn't put up a competitive primary. Conway said last night he's already well prepared for the gubernatorial race, no matter who ends up on the Republican ticket.
I'm chomping at the bit. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to engage because this is important. This is important stuff. I mean, the governor of Kentucky controls a huge budget that invests in elementary and secondary education, higher education, invests in workforce development. The governor really should be the ambassador for creating jobs and bringing jobs to the state.
Well, even with a strong lead, Jeff Young announced late last night he will not concede to Conway. He says he plans to discredit Conway's candidacy in court.
All right, several other state races are now also set for the fall. In the race for Attorney General, Republican Whitney Westerfield moves on to face Democrat Andy Beshear, who ran unopposed in the Democratic primary. Beshear is the son of Governor Steve Beshear. In the race for Secretary of State, Democratic incumbent Allison Lundergan Grimes moves on to face Republican Stephen Nipper in the fall. Allison Ball is the winner in the Republican primary for State Treasurer. She will face Rick Nelson, state representative who beat 4 other Democrats last night for his party's nomination. In a close race, State Representative Ryan Quarles won the Republican nomination for State Agriculture Commissioner. He will now face Democrat Jean Marie Lawson Spann in the fall. Democratic incumbent Adam Edlin will face Republican Mike Harmon in the race for Kentucky State Auditor. Neither candidate faced opposition in last night's primary.
Ask me a question, I think.
New this morning, a Harrison County family is without a place to live this morning after an explosion destroyed their home.
That happened at just about 1 o'clock this morning on US 27 near Cynthiana. WKYT's Sam Smith is live in Harrison County with a look at the damage. Sam, was anybody injured in that fire?
Thankfully, no one here was hurt. Firefighters tell us the folks living here made it out safely. They say this happened around 1 o'clock this morning. 2 adults were sleeping inside before they heard an explosion. When they woke up, the house was full of smoke. They escaped the house through the front bedroom window. Officials say the fire started on the other side of the house in another bedroom. This home is a complete loss, and a shed nearby has also been destroyed. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Officials say it's hard to tell how the fire started because of the damage, and looking at the damage, the folks living here were lucky to make it out safely. Live in Harrison County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Sam. New this morning, Laurel County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man they say pointed a gun at a child. 27-year-old Michael Vickers is charged with wanton endangerment. Deputies got a report of Vickers pointing a gun at a 5-year-old girl. They say he did it because she was splashing water during a bath. Vickers told the deputies he didn't think it was a big deal to point the gun at his stepsister.
New this morning, a young man is recovering after a shooting in Lexington. Officers tell us that the man was walking through MLK Park about 2 o'clock this morning. That's when he told officers he had some kind of exchange with a suspect, and he was shot in the chest. Police say he walked to a relative's home on Gerald Drive, and the relative then called police. Police tell us the man's injuries were not life-threatening, and they are still looking for the suspect. Another man has now been arrested in connection with a violent home invasion near the UK campus. Police say 18-year-old James Darnell Brown was involved in a violent burglary on Suburban Court 10 days ago. According to an arrest citation, Brown, along with Saquon Freeman, broke into a home there on May 10th. Police say they held several people at the home hostage and robbed them. 2 of those people were injured. Brown will be arraigned later today on 7 kidnapping charges and 1 burglary charge.
All lanes of US 27 in Jessamine County are back open after a crash. Nicholasville police say a box truck blew a tire yesterday, causing the driver to lose control. This happened near Catnip Hill. The truck then slammed into the back of a tractor trailer. The driver of the box truck was taken to UK hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver of the tractor trailer also went to the hospital as a precaution. Police were on scene for the crash for about 5 hours.
A man indicted in connection to a deadly crash last year has been killed in a different crash. The Georgetown News-Graphic reports 30-year-old Christopher Reed was hit by a truck yesterday morning on I-75 in Tennessee. He was reportedly standing on the side of the highway. Last month, a grand jury indicted him on manslaughter and DUI charges. Police say Reed was driving the wrong way on Interstate 64 in Scott County last year when he hit Dallas Easton's car. Easton was killed in that crash.
A report of some strange behavior ended with a man in jail in Boyle County. 52-year-old Terry Lowe faces many drug charges. Police say they received reports for 2 men in a car possibly intoxicated and talking to children. They checked it out and noticed Lowe stuffing something in his pants. In the car, they found marijuana, meth, scales, plastic baggies, and cash. Let's get a check of traffic and see what is happening out on the roads this morning.
Coming up on 540 with a look outside right now. Let's take a live camera look at Broadway and High Street downtown. Traffic starting to pick up this morning. No reports of any early issues. Back to school here in Fayette County after being closed yesterday for the election. And we'll keep you informed as we move along this morning.
We hope your Wednesday's off to a great start. There is still a whole lot more to come this morning. A woman who is nearly 100 years old hasn't had her last dance just yet. We'll tell you all about this Iowa woman who's keeping fit by dancing.
Upper 40s, lower 50s outside this morning. As we head toward the afternoon, we'll start to see those clouds appear, and that'll give us rain chance later on tonight. I'll show you what you can expect out of that with some thunderstorm coverage coming up.